Is your chiropractic practice scalable, or would just massive growth actually create more headaches and the wheels would fall off the car? I don't want that to be you, and so in this video, I'm going to show you how to know exactly if your practice is scalable, and if not, exactly how to fix it for a 7-figure practice. All right, in today's video, it's all about scale. Those of you who are ready to take good to great. And this means we gotta get really intentional about beginning with the end in mind and how important that is as you as the leader of this practice. The next part we're gonna talk about is what would happen if you took a month off? What would happen to your practice if you went to Hawaii for a month? Does that scare you a little bit? And then the third section of this video is going to talk about how important your foundational processes are for valuing your practice so that when you do go to retire, you don't just end up taking a ridiculously low offer for your practice. I want you to get the value for your retirement that you deserve. So fix number one, our profession is notorious for not thinking about the end. We don't want to think about retirement or the day we're going to sell our practice. We're just excited about building a practice and being in momentum. But it's inevitable that everybody is going to have to exit their practice at some point. And unfortunately, I just got off a call with a doctor named Dr. Allen, who was at a point in his life where he wasn't really ready to retire, but he was getting an offer on his practice. And to be quite honest, he was kind of burnt out and tired and really just kind of ready. But he hadn't built the practice on systems. He hadn't prepared it for an exit. And so the offer that was coming in was about $500,000 below what the practice was actually valued for. It was producing cash. It was consistently seeing patients. It was the dominator in his area, but unfortunately hadn't gained. He had built up an amazing practice. He was well known in the area, but unfortunately built a cash flow practice where patients were coming in because of his name and what he could do for the patients. When we take that provider out of the practice, we immediately see a 25 to 50% drop in patient services as patients now go to find their next chiropractor. That is why whoever's buying the practice recognizes that and immediately devalues the practice. And so this doctor now was kind of feeling forced to take this lower purchase price, when really, if he just would have built it on systems and showed that the practice could maintain the level of cash flow with or without him, he could have absolutely demanded that additional $500,000 for the exit of the practice. Before I go on to fix number two, I want you to actually tap the like button and, like a chiropractor, give your best adjustment to that notifications bell so that you don't miss a single great episode of the Data-Driven Practice as we continue to deliver for you. So our fix number two is really looking that if you stepped away from the practice, what would happen to its cash flow? I grew up in a family where my father was a chiropractor, and I remember every summer we would take 2 weeks to go on a road trip somewhere out west. And being in Davenport, Iowa, I would watch my dad, as we're approaching that family vacation, start to get anxious, start to get grumpy. And as we're packing for the vacation, I could feel the tension and the comments about how we weren't going to have cash flow for the next 2 weeks because the practice was going to shut down while we were on a road trip, which almost made me allergic to vacations. I don't want to pass that on to my own children. And if your practice stops cash flow because you're going on vacation, we don't have a business. We actually have a job. And this was a big transformation for me, that if I wanted to take vacations, I didn't want to be stressed like my dad was. I wanted to be able to step away from the practice to my kids' games. I wanted to be there to help my wife. I wanted to be able to go on magical vacations and know that there was still cash flow happening in the practice. Well, that meant I had to build the practice on systems, and I had to stop being the driver of those systems. So the way we do this is we remove you as the driver, we put you as the clinic director, and we begin building out every position in the practice and empowering that team member as the driver of their role, the driver of their system to produce a very specific product that they become responsible for. And because they're the drivers, they don't require you to be there in order for them to drive that product. We obviously bring in some associate doctors to help you build this brand, and not a brand that's built on you, your personality, your name. We really want to build a system where patients are attracted to that system of healthcare and they receive the results because of the system. This is the power of true healthcare. This is the power of a system that we're trying to build a community around, where chiropractic is a system, not a doctor. And it's applying that system to our community that is elevating their health, and you can be on vacation and their health is still getting better. Hey docs, if you love Big Pharma and love pushing drugs, don't like this channel, I want you to comment below True Health. I want to see how many doctors out there are resonating who are sick and tired of the commercials, sick and tired of hearing the side effects and still seeing these big pharma companies continue to see their bottom lines rise. It's ridiculous. And so join me, comment below True Health. This is a community where we are ready to stand and take control of our community's healthcare by being the leaders in that community. Comment True Health. Fix number 3 actually circles back to where we started with Dr. Allen. If you're going to get the value out of your practice, you've got to shift your identity. It's okay to start your practice as a physician, but we've got to shift you now to practice owner who builds foundational systems into the practice, where we shift that identity to the clinic director and we now have team doing the work, delivering the services. They are in the fulfillment of the patient care. This buys back your time. This helps you stay in strategy, helps you stay in expansion. And those are the most valuable practices where their data trend is going up upon exit. So it's time to take the step, docs. It's time to actually step into the Profit Accelerator system, where you will learn these foundational systems. We will get your trends going in the right direction. Our proven driven framework has now helped hundreds of practices do this very thing and get the max value out of their practice now and tomorrow. And it is time to put these foundational systems in with the Profit Accelerator system, where practice after practice has applied these principles and literally doubled their value. This is going to benefit you today, tomorrow, and in the inevitable exit whenever that time comes. So click the link below to book your free discovery call today.